Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mandy. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, welcome. I hope that you will stick around, hit that subscribe button, and become part of the family. So today, it took me forever to do this, and only for one reason, because I was hoping that I was going to get something in time to do this video, but I'm sick and tired of waiting for it. So without further ado, today we're doing something different, and it is the palette tag. Now, Allie Glines and Samantha Marchs are the ones that started this video tag, and to be honest, I watch them both, I love them both, and I have been a fan for quite some time for both of them. So it's very exciting for me, for my very first tag video, to be doing something of theirs, basically. Like I said, I've never done a tag video before, but I had to hop on the train with this one because I thought it was so cool. It's something that I was able to put together, and I just thought it was fun. And I love watching everybody's videos on these, so I thought I'd take part in it. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So, like I said, I will link Allie's and Samantha's channels down below if you would like to check out their videos. I'll either do their channel, both, or however, because I'm not very good at the editing thing yet, but somehow I will have them down below so that you can check that out. And also, there are so many different people that have been doing this tag, so please go check out their videos as well. There are so many good ones out there, and I love it so much because it's like basically a review of your palettes, so it's cool. So let's get started. Now, the reason my mind is taking forever is because when I decided that I was going to do this video, and I said yes to it and started taking notes and writing everything down, the Norvina palette has been ordered. It has not come to me yet. So I was waiting to do that as my newest palette, but it's not here. It's been like forever now since I ordered it, and it's still not here. So I might have to contact somebody on that. So my newest palette, other than that one, which is on the way, so technically it is the newest one that I bought, but I haven't received it. The newest one I received is the Sigma Enchanted palette. And this is a beautiful palette, beautiful palette. Now, I always most of the time keep them in the sleeves. I don't know why. So I have used all these palettes. Most of them probably will be in their sleeves. I don't know why I keep it, I just do. So, beautiful, beautiful palette. It comes with a Sigma brush, which you cannot beat. Now I'm like desperate to get the Quarter Rosa palette, but it is a double-ended brush. One side is the E54 medium sweeper, and the other side is E38 diffuse crease. Very good brush. But here is the palette. It is so pretty. I've used it a couple times. It's just gorgeous, you guys. I can't wait to dig more into this, but I still am waiting for that Norvina palette. All right, so first one's out. Next one is the oldest palette that I have. Now, there's a lot of old ones that I have, but I picked one that was like my first high-end palette, and it's also gonna double as another one, but I promise it's my only double. So, my oldest palette is the Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, and I don't know if it has a date on here, but this palette is old. And this is when I really first started getting into going to Sephora all the time and spending too much money. But it does have a little mirror there. This is We're All Mad here. It has, I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. I cannot read that. Reality is just different from yours. And then when you open it up, it has a butterfly. It's so pretty. And then you pull out the tray. I've lost the brush. It did come with a brush, but there is the tray. You see it's got some use. I've hit pan. This thing has been around for quite some time. It's a great palette, you guys. So that is my oldest palette. Next on the list is most expensive, which is a new palette of mine, and it is the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. Now, I did not pay the $129 price tag that this is. I got this, I think, $64 on sale, and it is a pretty palette. I've used it 3 times now, I think, but it is gorgeous. And I did buy the mini too. I don't know why, but I did. And there are the shades. They blend out beautifully. I can't wait to try the mini because people said that this mini row, or this bottom row, is the mini, and it performs better than this big palette. So I'm interested to see that. I haven't tried it yet because I have so many new things that I've been trying because I went crazy for my birthday month. But I'm interested to see if that's true. But this is my most expensive palette. Pretty much, I'm trying to think, like, even with the price tag that I paid for it, because it was $64, I believe, it's still, I'm pretty sure, the highest I've ever paid for a palette, because the Norvina one, I think, is $60. The Jeffree Star ones are like $58 or $56. So yeah, even with the sale, this is the highest palette of mine. All right, next on the list is most affordable. Now, I even looked at like some drugstore palettes and things like that to see if I could find something cheaper, because everybody has the same answer, and of course mine is going to be the same answer too. And it is the little $4, $3 elf palettes. They're cute. I have every single one of them. They are very good quality, and I mean, this one here is Rosewater. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're really good. I think they were $3. So I couldn't beat it. Even the LA colors. And I didn't have any palettes from Dollar Tree because all of them have been long gone. Because they just don't perform as well for me. So this is what I came up with. I'm sorry. I tried to do something different. But I just couldn't. Sorry about that. All right. So moving on. I'm trying to make it a little bit quicker so you guys aren't stuck here all day listening to this. Everyday palette. So I took this as like a palette that you can use every day. That is like a usable palette. Different people took it different ways. So some people took it as if it was their everyday palette. I took it as something that anybody could use every day. And it is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. Again, this is a new palette to me, but it's a gorgeous palette. It's an OG. It's been around for a while. So many people love this palette. Not to mention the smell is amazing. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. It's just a really nice neutral palette. So I mean, there's not much more to say about it other than it smells delicious and it blends out amazingly. It is good. It's just a good palette. And it's definitely something that could be considered an everyday palette. So that's why I picked that one. All right, moving on to colorful, the most colorful palette. There were so many different palettes that I could have picked for this. Like, a lot of my collection is colorful. I'm starting to get into the nudes. I guess for like the past couple of months now, like it has been like what I'm going to are my nude palettes. But before that, I collected nothing but colorful palettes. So it was really hard for me. But I did just receive one not too long ago, and I think it's pretty colorful, so I think it qualifies. So it is the Cake palette from Glamlight. It is so pretty. I am wearing some of it on my eyes today, but this is gorgeous. And this is one you don't have to, but I mean, the outside packaging is awesome. So it's not the same. It's in a little oven. Like, it's not the same as the sleeve or whatever. So it's in a little oven and you pull it out. It's so stinking cute. And then there's the cake. It's just adorable. So when you open it up, it opens sideways. And then there's your mirror. And then there's your colors. You know, it is a rainbow palette. There's not that many neutrals in here. So that's why I was like, okay, most colorful. Do I have more colorful palettes with different colors in it? Probably. This is one of the newer ones, and I don't know. I just thought it was very colorful. It's not something that I've seen a lot of people pick for their colorful palettes, so I wanted to try to do something different. So that's another reason I picked that one. But it is just so adorable. I love this palette, and I try to use it as much as I can, honestly. Okay. I'm running out of room now. Scoot this over so I don't drop my palettes on the floor. All right, we are at smallest. So a lot of people would do this one again. However, I went with a different choice because I think it's just as small, and it is the Kaja 3-stack palette. This one is in 01 Rosewater. Does it say how much it is in grams? Okay, so 3 times, so 9 grams. Okay, so it is smaller. So this is 12 and this is 9. So yay for me. I actually did something right. So there are 3 little colors on here, and they all kind of just, and there's a little mirror too. You just clip it down. There's another one. And then here's the darker one, maybe. And then there you go, there's the darker one. They're so cute, it's highly pigmented. I love this little tiny palette. I wish I would pull it out more because I love these colors. So that is what I picked for smallest. Now biggest, I've seen some people pick this palette, actually more than some people, but I believe it probably is my biggest palette as well, and it is the James Charles palette. It definitely is a big palette, has lots of shades in here. Looks like that. Mine has gotten a little bit of use. I don't pull for this too much because it's so big and bulky, but it is a really nice palette. And there are your shades. I could have used this one as a colorful palette too, because there's definitely more colors in here than the Cake palette, but I didn't because there's a lot of neutrals in this. And the Cake palette is pretty much just a rainbow palette. So that's why I didn't pick this one as a as the colorful one, but that is probably my biggest one for sure. All right, moving on. Where are we at? So we are at palette with best memory. So this is my double. Now my palette with my best memory, of course, is going to be this Alice in the Looking Glass palette. So the memory that comes with this is, like I said, it was like very first Sephora kind of, not the first time I had been to Sephora, but it's the first time I actually spent enough money to get, you know, a substantial item, because I wasn't the person that would go spend $40, $50 on a palette. I just wouldn't do it. When I seen this one, it is what started my downhill of collecting palettes, if you want to call it a downhill. I don't call it a downhill, my husband does, but I do not. I enjoy collecting my palettes, but it does cost a lot of money. But this is what started it. So I seen this, I had to have it. It was Urban Decay. Obviously Urban Decay was, you know, it still is a very big brand. I had heard a lot of good things about this palette. So I was there with my son, and he helped me pick it. Like he didn't help me pick it. He helped me say, okay, buy it. Yeah, you should get that. So he was there to push the purchase, and it worked. And it is the beginning of my palettes. So there's the best memory for that. All right, moving on to Worth the Hype. Now, I tried to stay as true as I could to all the categories and not double up or anything, or, you know, do 2 for 1. However, this one I had to pick 2 because there are 2 of them that I certainly believe were worth the hype. I'm glad I got them, and I'm so happy to have them. So the first one is the Conspiracy palette. You guys, I sat there all day. The first day it came out on launch day, and with 3 different computers open. I think it was 3. Yeah, it was 3 because the MCR tickets I had 4. And also that was when Bloodlust launched too with the MCR tickets. So I failed on too. But anyway, I had 3 different computers open trying to get this palette. I had asked off, I think, so that I could, you know, try to get this palette because it was so hyped up. Everybody wanted it. We knew when it was releasing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I did ask off for that day so I could try to get it. And I did not. I tried and tried and tried. I did get the mini, but I didn't get the big one until recently. So I am so glad that this is in my collection, and I truly believe it's worth the hype. It is a gorgeous palette, so pretty. The pink Trish, oh my gosh, I love pinks, and that shade is something else. So when you open it up, that is what it looks like. And there are your shades. They are so blendable, so pretty. There's not enough good things to say. The only thing is with this palette is sometimes I do have to, once that I've used it, I haven't used it a whole lot yet, but it is probably best to pair this up with a neutral palette and use one of the pops of colors in here as your lid shade, because it's hard to get a whole look out of here. You have to be pretty talented to make more than maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 looks out of this, and make them look good by themselves without pairing it with a palette. But the formula is amazing. I'm super glad I got that. The next one that I think is worth the hype is the second volume Jaclyn Hill palette. This is so pretty. I have the first one, I have the Vault. I'm not like this diehard Jaclyn Hill fan or anything. I just think that her palettes are good. The first palette, I used it a lot. There was one palette out of the Vaults that I used so much. It had that white shade in it that I used all the time for a corner shade. I loved that one. I can't remember the name of it. But here is the outside of it. And I love my pinks and purples. So that's probably why I love this palette so much. But it is so pretty, you guys. And you can get some pretty pink, purple, orange, and neutral looks out of this. Like, it's so pretty. I think it's worth the hype. I know there's people that can take or leave Jaclyn Hill and don't care for her products. I don't really do that. Like, yes, if I support somebody, then I support somebody and I will try to buy their products. But if I don't really support them, unless it's like a Kat Von D situation, then I will buy the products. It's not always about the people. To me, it's about the makeup and having fun playing in makeup. So, I mean, that's how I feel. Unless, like I said, it's a different situation like the Kat Von D. She's not really, I don't know. Take it or leave it. I loved it. I'm not gonna get more into that. All right, so the next one, where am I at? Not worth the hype. Another palette that I just got recently. I mean, it's a nice palette, don't get me wrong, but it's not what everybody said it was gonna be and all the hype that it got. And it is the Amrezy palette. It's beautiful, very pretty, but worth it. If you have all the other ABH palettes, which I don't have all of them, but I have a lot of them, was this worth it? Probably not. It's gorgeous, so pretty. And it's just like these two shades, like everybody says, are so similar, and you have such a dark transition to this, and pretty much it's just like another palette that I'm going to talk about, spoiler, here in a minute. So I really didn't need to get this one. It is nice, it's great quality, it's beautiful. This duochrome here is gorgeous, but if you had the other palettes, I don't think this one was worth it. But I'm glad to have it. I'm not gonna complain that I have it, because I love collecting palettes, so I'm glad to have it, but I don't think it was worth the hype. All right, we are coming down to the bottom. So favorite palette from favorite brand. Now, if you guys have watched me, you know that Too Faced is my favorite. I know there's controversy with them too, but I love their packaging. I love their products, even their Christmas products. I bought them this year, even though I know they're not that good, but it's Too Faced and I love it, and I'm sorry. But my favorite palette from them right now is the Natural Nudes. As I said earlier, I'm trying to get myself into doing nude looks because it's easy and it's just easier for work. And this palette is nice. Now, the shimmers. If you guys have tried this palette, you know the shimmers are not like a normal Too Faced shimmer. It definitely takes a minute to get used to it. Once you get used to it though, however, it's great. It goes on the eyes, it's beautiful. It gives a certain kind of like sheen to it that normal Too Faced shimmers do not. But I love it. This is smaller than I thought it was gonna be when I got it. Definitely smaller, but gorgeous. I love it. You can do so many neutral looks with this, and it's just so pretty, so pretty. So, I mean, this was on the run for the money for most used, because it's what I grab a lot, is this, especially now. But because I've probably used this palette more, this is why I went for this one for the most used. When I got this palette, it was my last birthday, so last year's birthday, not this one that just passed. And I have a lot of palettes. I try to rotate through my palettes, so I'm using them all, and you know, they're not just sitting there. So I don't tend to reach for one palette over the other. I love to like just play in all the different ones. But if I had to pick one that I picked up the most, it would have to be this one. I love this stinking palette. Now, this is the one that I was talking about when I said the Amrezy one, because the colors are so similar in this than they are in the Amrezy palette. I mean, you can see, but the nudes are a little bit lighter, but you can, I mean, I don't know. That one has like a pinky tone, as the other ones are more of like a brown tone, but the blues, it's so similar. The pink, I don't know. It's similar. It's not the same, obviously, but it's similar. And along with different colors, you can pretty much do everything with this palette, and maybe another one that the Amrezy palette, another ABH palette that you can with the Amrezy palette. But I love this palette. You can see I've definitely dug in. It is so dirty. It's such a pretty palette. I love those blues. I love that pink. Every bit of this palette, I love it. So pretty. You can see like the mattes are not even really that messy, and that to me for an ABH palette is saying something. And I use them. Like, you can tell I use them because you can see the top is disgusting. And for the bottom mattes to not be that bad looking and not all over the place, it's a pretty good palette. So that is my most used. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed putting it together for you. It was fun. It did take a little bit of thinking to try to get a different kind of list together than what everybody else is doing. But like I said, I've really enjoyed doing this for you. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you're still here, leave me a, what kind of emoji? Leave me a purple heart emoji if you guys made it to the end. And again, thank you so much, you guys. I love you so much. We are almost to the 1,000 subscribers. We are getting there, and I cannot be more happy. But thank you guys so much. I think that's it though. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Like I said, that purple heart emoji if you're still here to the end. You my OGs. Love ya. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. You guys have a fantastic day and stay safe out there. Bye.